Hello, Lockport Township High School District 205 parents and guardians. My name is Bob McBride, Superintendent, and this is your board meeting brief for the Board of Education meeting that took place right here in the Porter Room on July 18th, 2022. We have been so blessed to begin so many of our Board of Education meetings with celebrations, and we certainly had a special celebration on July 18th. The Illinois Principals Association is divided into 21 regions. Annually, each of those regions selects its high school principal of the year. Our region here in Lockport is the Three Rivers region and encompasses part of Kankakee, Oliveville, and parts of Grundy, a huge area. And we had an opportunity to celebrate East Campus Principal Dr. John Greenan, who was named the Three Rivers Illinois Principals Association High School Principal of the Year for 2022. We are so lucky to have Dr. Greenan on our staff and leading East Campus, so congratulations to him. Now into our board business. And I want to mention to you three particular things from a shorter than usual summer meeting of the board. Two of them took place in my board report. One relates to COVID-19, and the other relates to our facilities and finances. And the final thing I want to mention in this board meeting brief is one of the most consequential things that we do for you, for our district, for all taxpayers. That's beginning the budget process. COVID-19, here we are, third year of the pandemic, it is still with us. I briefed our Board of Education that since February 14th, we've been in a mask optional environment. We've had a plan on the books for over a year that supported that type of environment. And my recommendation to them is that we continue along those lines. We've learned that we can keep students healthy, keep staff healthy, keep in-person learning going if we do some simple things. We are attentive to our symptoms. Staff and students report when they have COVID-19. If you're positive with COVID-19, stay isolated for 5 days. You can now return to campus if for an additional 5 days you wear a mask. If you feel like you should wear a mask, students and staff always have that option. And again, this year, the state of Illinois will be funding shield testing, which we will make available to all staff members and to all students if they need it on a weekly basis to find out if symptoms they might have actually might be COVID-19. If we can continue a partnership with you as parents, us as administrators, we can keep a mask optional environment going, a safe and a healthy environment going as well. I also shared with the board if there is something down the line that we just can't even anticipate right now, our board would have to come together. We would have to brief the board on what that health issue is related to COVID-19, and the board would have to take action. I also worked with the board during my report about our facilities and finances. 10 years ago, the district asked the question of what should we do next through a series of referendums that examined should we build on a piece of property that we own in Homer Glen. Now, 10 years later, many of the issues related to our facilities are still with us. In particular, at Central, we have a legacy building, and we have to make a decision as a Board of Education whether we just continue to maintain that at about a cost of $1 million a year, or do we do a full renovation of Central in order to address some of the major space, mechanical, and structural issues that happen when you have a 120-year-old building. Also here at East Campus, we have issues with space. We're growing, not so much in our student population, but in programs that we try to provide for students because you've asked us to provide those programs. Board of Education had a very, very robust conversation, which really centered on what can we do to renovate in order to conserve funds as well as avoid passing on the large costs of a brand new building to taxpayers. We'll continue that conversation as we move into the school year. Finally, the most consequential thing that we do every year, we begin a budget process. In July every year, our board approves a tentative budget that I present along with our chief school business official. As you can imagine, very important thing that we have to keep our eyes on this year is inflation, as everybody is. We are mindful that right now, our costs, just like your costs, are rising at 7, 8, 9%. However, the Property Tax Extension Limitation Act, let's just call it simply the tax cap law, caps our ability to increase revenue at 5%. We are on a fixed income. Many of you understand this as well. The increase in your home revenue isn't keeping up with the costs that we're experiencing. So what are we doing to address that? One, we presented a balanced budget, living within our means. Two, we have no intention of exceeding that 5% tax cap limit. We can't. It's the law, even if our costs are increasing at 7, 8, 9%. And then three, we have been able to preserve fund balances within our accounts. Now's the time to use those. Here at East, we have a major project, an $8 million roof that will have to go on to preserve this building. We don't intend to pass that on to our taxpayers or our parents. We will use our fund balances to steward and steer ourselves through this very difficult economic time for all of us. Please tune in over the next few months as we approve a final budget in September, and that final budget turns into a tax levy in December. Thanks so much for your attention to this Board of Education brief for our board meeting on Monday, July 18th. Have a great summer. I'm looking forward to seeing you in August when we're back at school.